everyone. My name is Sandra Kim, IA's Professional Development Director, and I want to welcome you to the Manufacture Series webinars. Today's webinar, titled Best Practices for Streamlining Ordering, is sponsored by Hunter Industries. Hunter Industries is a global company that provides innovative, efficient solutions for the irrigation, outdoor lighting, dispensing technology, and custom manufacturing industries. Hunter's diverse array of products are found everywhere from stadiums, national landmarks, city parks, residential properties, and commercial complexes around the world. For more information, visit their website at www.hunterindustries.com. Now I have just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. This session will be recorded and all microphones will be muted. This webinar is worth 1/4 of a CEU, that is 0.25 CEUs. You can enter it on the Submit CEUs page under the Certification tab on the IA website at irrigation.org. If you have any questions, please type them into the question box on your screen. The presenters will answer them during the webinar. Our speakers today are Jordan Telford and Scott Allison. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Jordan and Scott.
Thank you, Sandra. As Sandra said, this webinar is Essential Tools and Strategy to Simplify Ordering. I first want to take an opportunity to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to come here and to hopefully be provided with some tools that can help you to get a little bit better in your guys' businesses, and we really appreciate it. Presenting today is Scott Allison and Jordan Telford. Scott has been with the company for 9 years. He's our web development manager, and I'm Jordan. I am a sales manager. I've been with Hunter for 5 years. So I want to start by talking about fast cars. In October 6th, 2019, I had my first experience driving a supercar. It was a McLaren 720S. It was blue, just like the one pictured here in this photo. Before that day, I didn't really understand why anybody would spend that much money on a car. I didn't get it. But since that day, I've developed a great love for fast cars, and more specifically supercars. And you know, they're this fascinating piece of engineering, and I wanted to know, why are supercars so much faster than, say, a normal sports car? And so what makes a car fast? So what makes a car fast is its power, and the power is, it's a measurement of the energy converted from one form to another in a set amount of time. And when we talk about in car racing or in supercars or in fast cars, it's when the chemical energy that's stored inside of gasoline is ignited and transformed in the kinetic energy of motion. It's how it propels itself forward. And power has just as much to do with the car as it does with the engine size. And it has a lot to do with efficiency. So how efficient can we transmit that gasoline into that kinetic energy? And it's a fun fact. In 1946, the fastest car that you could purchase was a Healy Elliott. It went 104 miles per hour. It weighed 2,500 pounds, had 105 horsepower. And that 2,500 pounds is about what, you know, say a Honda Civic would weigh today. And its weight to power ratio was 24.62. So meaning that for every 24 pounds, it had 1 horsepower to drive it forward. Now, if we fast forward to 2020, in 2020, the SSC Tuatara goes 316 miles per hour, has a weight of 2,700 pounds, and its horsepower is 1,750, and it carries a weight to power ratio of 1.6. For every 1.6 pounds, there is 1 horsepower to drive that business forward. So, you know, you might be asking yourself, well, why are we talking about fast cars? This is all about, how do we get better as a business, or how do we be more strategic or more efficient with our business? Well, if we look at your business as compared to fast cars, your people, they're your engine. They're what generate that power. They're what move your business forward. And they are by far your greatest asset inside of your business. They are the most important thing. And your weight is how efficiently you can run that business. So your weight to power ratio becomes how productive are your people versus to your processes. How good are your processes? How do you get your orders? How does everybody meet? What are your check-in procedures? Now, we know that if we want to make a car faster, we can get a bigger engine, or we can modify the engine. We can improve the tires and suspension so that we can transfer that kinetic energy to the ground faster. We can lighten the weight. We can improve that power to weight ratio. If you remember, the Healy only had 1 horsepower per every 24 pounds. So it couldn't go as fast as the Tuatara. Now, we understand that we have a labor shortage in our industry. We can't just go out and we can't say, hey, we want to improve our power. We want to add a bunch of people. So we're going to go out and hire 15 or 20 more employees. It doesn't work that way. We can't, there aren't an available talent pool that we can just pull from. So we have to start looking at the efficiencies of our business. We have to start looking at how do we become more efficient. And when we talk about cars, every 20 pounds of vehicle weight that you reduce is like adding 10 horsepower. So how do we lower the weight of your business, or how do we get more efficient? And this is a fascinating statistic that the financial costs of your business make up 20 to 30% of your revenue. So almost a third of your business's total revenue can be lost because of inefficient processes and practices. And so we start to look at, like, well, where are some places where we can shore up those processes and those practices? And that's what I mean by the weight. This is where we have opportunities. Just like, what is the cost of, or what is the weight of moving employees to a new job site because parts were ordered incorrectly? What is the cost or the weight of installing the wrong product because something was ordered incorrectly? Or what is the cost or the weight of sending employees into a distributor for additional parts because they were ordered incorrectly? Or what is the cost or the weight of employees waiting for the right products to arrive so they can continue to work? These are all opportunities for us to improve our practices and our processes to help us to become a more efficient business, to lower the weight. A great example of this is Henry Ford. The Ford Motor Company was started in 1903. And in 1908, Henry Ford created the Model T. It had a price tag of $825. And in the first year, Ford sold 18,000 vehicles. It was considered America's only affordable car for the middle-class citizens. So it's really cool. But Henry Ford felt like this was still too expensive. He felt like he wanted it to be more available to the masses. And so he went into his factory and he noticed the inefficiencies in his building process. The employees built a car from start to finish, and they had to go get parts. They didn't show up and come to a station where parts were ready for them to build it. They were taking it from station to station. And no employee was specialized in just one piece of building the car. So he changed the way he did business. He instead had employees, when they got there, the parts were ready. They were located at their station. They didn't have to go get parts. Employees specialized in what they were doing. If you built the wheel, you built the wheel, and then the wheel moved on to the next station. The employees didn't move on. And the car was built one component at a time versus trying to build the whole car. The production of the Model T went from 12 hours to 2.5 hours. The car itself was reduced in cost from $850 to $390, and over 10 million of them were sold. This completely refined the car industry. Ford Motor sales skyrocketed until they were supplying 50% of all the cars in the United States. And this was all done while doubling the salary of every employee at Ford. This is such a cool story and such an inspiring story about just the inefficiencies in processes, and how simple changes in processes, things like having parts ready to go or having the right parts in the right place, and making sure that employees are specialized in whatever they're doing. The results are there. You can see what Ford was able to do by just changing some of those processes. And so at Hunter, we want to provide you tools that help you do the same thing. We want to help you to create a smarter environment, a more efficient environment, and to cut that weight. And so in this webinar, we're gonna help you to grow your business by using the SiteRec app, the My List app, and the My Design app. So Scott, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thanks, Jordan. That's a great introduction. Yeah, at Hunter, we have these helpful free tools that will help you streamline the ordering process and even the lighting design process, a brand new tool that Jordan's actually going to walk you through at the end of this presentation. So if you stick around, you'll definitely learn a couple of new tricks to help improve the efficiency of your business. So unlocking the power of Hunter tools, really, I mean, as I mentioned, it's about simplifying ordering, saving time, reducing that overhead, just like the car's weight that Jordan mentioned. It's helping you drive revenue, win more bids, and it's really helping you build, these tools will help you build your brand to help you present like a professional as your customers are expecting it and getting your bid in time faster than the competitors. The first tool I'd like to cover today is called SiteRec. SiteRec is a custom sales playbook for your business. So you're able to show your product offering and upsell with a good, better, best comparison charts so that your customers understand the value of a better product. It allows you to basically build your brand and educate your customers on the spot. So built-in videos showing how different products work, the features and benefits. Everyone loves a visual, and this tool is customized to suit your business needs. You can add your logo and your company information. You can change imagery so you can showcase your landscape work. And you can also customize it with your company story. So everybody's on the same page telling the same story about your business. Somebody that you just hired can be stepping into a sales role immediately, walking the customer through this same story. And it's all actually tied back to your account. So you don't have to have multiple people logging in to take advantage of that. Everyone is referencing the same playbook essentially. So when you change any information, let's say more than 35 years of excellence here, 2021 rolls around, now it's 36 years, you can update that in one place and it's automatically updated for every sales rep or even a technician is able to reference that same updated information on the spot. And that's one of the major takeaways I want to share with you today about improving your business efficiency is really taking advantage of cloud technology. So everybody's referencing the same information, whether it's ordering, all those handwritten or printed out ordering sheets or parts lists, those get out of date. Let's be honest, landscapes are living things, like they get updated and plants grow, and you may need to either reorder product or you may need to change the plant. So every printed piece, every static PDF has the ability to be out of date at some point. And just like this company story, as your services grow over time, as your business grows over time, you can update that. And since it's in the cloud, everything that references that also gets the updated thing. Everybody's referencing the same document. It's a living document. SiteRec also has customizable checklists. So you can add the products and services you offer and remove products and services that you don't offer. So it's really infinitely customizable for your region, for your customers, for the services that you offer. You can add in landscape lighting, you can add in hardscaping, you can add in lawn maintenance, whatever it is that makes your business unique, and whatever way you want to use this checklist, it's infinitely customizable. Once you've presented the tool, you can then email it, that whole presentation, email it to the customer. And the customer will in fact get that updated presentation as you update your company information over time. So you see here as an example, it shows an email that comes from your business and gives the customer the opportunity to open it up, whether it's on a laptop or it's on their mobile device. Really anything with an internet connection will be able to access this information. So instead of an outdated paper proposal or a hastily thrown together email with a quick price or something like that, you can give your customer a really detailed digital leave behind that helps your business look like the most professional business that the client is going to interact with. And really, ultimately, that's going to help you close that sale. Closing a sale faster means you get to ordering faster. And really, any device that has an internet connection can access this tool. You can present this presentation, this tool, on any device with internet connection. So if you wanted to pull it up on a smart TV while you're visiting the customer's home, you can do that. And I will say the tablet has most tablets have a unique ability to be able to cache those images and videos and files for offline use. So if you wanted to present without a data chip or Wi-Fi connection, so you're not having to ask the client for their Wi-Fi password, or you don't want to pay for a cellular subscription, you could do that on tablets. But the benefit of it being a cloud, as I mentioned, it's a living document, it's always up to date, and everybody's referencing the same thing, and it can be accessible from any device. So you don't have to have a specific iPhone or Android or a specific type of computer that you're issuing to all of your staff. It's very easy to get started, and it's free, as I mentioned. You can download it to your iPad or Android tablet for offline use, or you can open it up in any web browser. To get started, you just go to siterec.hunterindustries.com or search for SiteRec online. We've got a walkthrough video to help you get started. There's on-screen instructions step-by-step to customize it for your business. And then it's really easy just to start selling. So no investment other than your time. And what it helps you do is it helps you build out a digital parts list right from having that interaction or doing that site audit with your client. And it's a really professional looking leave behind. So once you close that sale, really it's about how you simplify the ordering process to improve your business's efficiency. As Jordan mentioned, there's a lot of time wasted moving products back and forth, returning products that were incorrectly ordered, understanding complex part numbers, things like that. So one of the tools I want to share with you today is called MyList. Helps you build out a parts list, collect all of your product information in one place, and share it with your distributor. And the next tool, which Jordan will take you through a live demo, is called MyDesign. And that actually was just launched recently for lighting, which helps you build out a landscape lighting design presentation for your customers while building out a parts list for you at the same time. So it's helping to streamline those processes, putting everything in one step versus multiple steps and hastily putting together an email to your client, right? They're going to want that information digitally. Homeowners these days are just expecting information faster. They're expecting a better visual. And let's be honest, those handwritten, unique emails typed up every time just aren't cutting it. They're not sticking out. So MyDesign is a presentation and ordering tool, helping you close sales faster. And MyList is building out parts lists, communicating product information much more efficiently. MyList helps you quickly build a parts list. So on hunterindustries.com or fxl.com, we have the same tool called MyList. You can point and click exactly what specification you want. And it will actually, I'll show you in a few slides, that it will actually validate your part numbers to make sure they're accurate. You can also, once the parts list is built out, download a PDF, which is seen here on the lower half of the screen. And on the upper half of the screen is an Excel spreadsheet where you can add in custom parts. You can send that over to your distributor. You can print it out. Really, it's about walking into that distributor branch with a list of part numbers so that you're more confident about what you need and improving your ordering accuracy. And because this is also a cloud-based tool, you can share this with your crew. You can add notes for each product. So if you wanted to include installation instructions, all of that, you have the ability to do that, and everybody is referencing the same living document. So if you need to increase the station count or add a new accessory, right? All of that is updated immediately and available to everybody. We also allow you to add compatible accessories. So if you're looking at a controller, an irrigation controller, and you want to be able to add a compatible sensor, we list all of those on our website and give you the ability to add those directly to my list. So you're making sure whatever job needs spec'd, you're able to pull up all the available parts and not leave any stone unturned for your revenue. We also help you organize all of that product information in one place. Excuse me. So we bring in brochures, manuals, firmware files, CAD details, and spec sheets or submittal sheets all in one place. You can actually just hit one button and it downloads all of those resources for your products for your job. Nothing else, just the products you have listed there, really making it like your own customized catalog page. Let's take a look at that catalog page. Right at the top, you've got a project summary. And actually on the lighting version of this, the project summary will even show you the VA draw, the volt amps that you will need for your job, so you know to size your transformer properly. We also include list price here, and this is available if you have a professional account, which is also free from Hunter Industries. You can toggle that price on and off. So if you wanted to use that to bid your job, you can then turn it off when it's time to share it with either your clients or with your distributor, as they might have their own pricing. List price is also available for each line item. As you can see, it goes down the gamut there from the controller to the accessories. You can also drag and drop to reorder these. So if you wanted your controller at the top or at the bottom, really whatever you want to match, maybe even the specification or the plan or just the way you like to look at it. It's really just a tool to help you stay better organized. And right there is a download button. You'll find cut sheets and more, as mentioned. A notes field here allows you to change any information you wanted, any notes you wanted to add about the product, whether it's the installation location or something specific to help describe the product to your crew or your clients. We have the ability up here to copy the list. So if you wanted to create a starter list for your average Wi-Fi irrigation system, right? Copy that list and customize it for each job. Let's be honest, no two jobs are the same, but that doesn't mean that you can't be more efficient. Building out those parts lists that you can copy and paste, essentially, it's going to save you a lot of time for that next job. And this download all button I mentioned, one click, downloads all those cut sheets, the PDF printout, the Excel file, all of that in one zip file that you can download to your computer. We also have options to share your list, and I'll go through those in detail in just a moment. To print your list is really a quick shortcut to the PDF. And really, there's just a lot of resources available to you on one page. Put in the time to click the right options for your products, and we'll put together a really detailed custom page for you. Once you get that thing into Excel, you can do a lot of things that you can't do in the website. For starters, we have a multiplier feature built in. So if you wanted to calculate a discount or calculate your margin, you can easily change that number from a 1.0 to a 1.2 for a 20% markup, or a 0.75 for a 25% discount. And all of those prices can be automatically adjusted. So all the formulas are built in there and allowing you to even add in custom pricing. And then a link back to the full list allows you to say, all right, I've done my custom pricing, I've got my bid. Let's reference that original web page stored in the cloud so we can go in and make any updates there as well. So once you've built out this list, really it's all about communication, right? Improving communication will improve the ordering process. And really that starts with an email to your distributor. Your distributor could take a look at that list and say, well, we have this product in stock. We're ready to go for you. Come on in. Or they can say, oh, I'm going to order that for you. We'll have it here in a couple of days. You know what to expect. So it helps you place an order quickly, make that contact with your distributor, and you can send them that list. You can follow up with a text message or an email of your own, or you can also, as I mentioned, improving communication. You can also copy a URL to that page. We just provide that with a quick link in the share list, and then you could send that in an email or something to your distributor, or share it with your client along with any custom documentation you might want to attach. So no login to view. You do need a login to see price, but it's very easy to share that URL. Also within the share menu is that Excel download. As I mentioned, you can calculate your discount or margin using built-in multipliers, and you can import it to other software, or if you have those part numbers in a one list, you can copy and paste that into a quick ship or a quick order item option on your distributor's website. And Excel allows you to add any custom pricing or products or labor or anything else that you might want to add in there. The PDF printout is really just a professional piece that you can either print out and stick in a job folder, or you can save it. It's really going to help you look really more professional and get all that information organized in one clean way. So PDF's really where it's at, and Excel with those unique features for the multiplier as well. PDF and Excel will also help you share with your crew and help you keep all those records stored in one place. So I've dimmed your screen here because I want to start to tell you a story here. The list is great, but it doesn't look like the right presentation for your customers, right? So I wanted to then bring the lights up here and say, imagine you're at this job site. So you've taken a picture, you've snapped a picture of that job site, and your gears are turning in your head. You're starting to think about landscape lighting opportunities here. What if you could share this picture with your client, describe or visualize the location of every fixture, and at the same time have that My List parts list built out for you? So My Design allows you to do that. My Design is the next tool I'm going to talk about, and with a point and click, drag and drop simplicity, you can be conquering landscape lighting design like a pro to help turn your designs into a reality. So introducing My Design, it allows you to upload an image of your job site, drag and drop products, and export a beautiful design. Drag and dropping is intuitive to us all. It is very easy in this tool. You can just point and click, drag and drop, move things around. Even uploading images are drag and drop. So it's super easy. No technical expertise is required to use this landscape lighting design tool, as well as no fee associated with it. So it's free to use, it's easy to use. Best of all, it's going to help you grow your business without increasing your labor. So let's take a look at that PDF, or I'm sorry, the exported PDF design presentation. So right at the top here, you're going to see an introduction as well as your company's branding. You can customize whatever images show up in this presentation. So every presentation is unique to your customers, and they're going to look at this and say, wow, Scott, I had no idea that you put together such a nice presentation. I mean, essentially, right at the top, you start off with the name of the project and a quick overview, including a customized proposal. Further down on the cover sheet, you'll find an overview of each area. So you can create several areas for each job. Jordan's going to walk you through this in just a moment, but think of each area like a scene or a phase of the installation of landscape lighting. So we'll start with the spa, then we'll move on to the clubhouse, and then the bocce ball court here. And then it finishes off with some contact information. You can upload and change anything that you want for your presentation. Then on each page, you'll actually see each area. So as you're flipping through the presentation or paging through on your device, you can actually Just talk about that one area, one thing at a time, not too much to overwhelm the client. And then you can also customize this next section. I'll show you an example in just a moment, but right below that image is all of your parts. It's got a swatch for your little swatch color piece. I'm going to highlight that just a second here with the arrow. Your color swatch, so your client knows what finish you're choosing, and it also includes list price. Now, we don't always share this much information with our clients, right? We don't want to show them part numbers. We probably don't want to show the list price. And we want maybe a little bit more descriptive information here. So that can also be changed into hiding price list or hiding list price items and hiding part numbers and just showing what the product's called, a nice picture of the product and the categories such as uplights or pathlights. So My Design really helps you design like a pro. No expertise required, no software license required. You can drag and drop to import your photos. So, pro tip here, as you're walking the job site, be building out your areas. Take a photo of the front yard, take a photo of the backyard, talk to your client as you're doing this. So ask them what's important here. Where's the focal points? What do we want to make sure we light up that fountain or that great oak tree in the back? You could also add notes to each area. So if you wanted to highlight those items that you wanted to the focal points, right? You can add those notes into the tool at the same time. So don't even be worried about which products you're going to use yet. So just start taking photos, importing them into the tool. Once you have all of those areas built out, you can then go drill into each one and start to select your products. Right at the top, you'll find a ribbon that says Add Products. And once you open that ribbon, it will show you the different product categories. You can then search for products by name or browse through products with images and filters to find the right product with the right design to meet the aesthetic that you're going for. You can also customize it with your favorites. So as you're going through adding products and you become familiar with products, just click on that little star there and it will add it to the top every time so that next time I go back in to a job or to a different area, I can just hit that favorite right at the top, one click. I don't have to keep researching for the same product over and over. We also have, if you'll notice, that recently used item there. So we often use the same products in multiple areas for the same job, right? So after I've gone and designed the front yard, I can use that recently used menu or that category to pull in the same path lights or the same uplights for the backyard that I used for the front. And really, at the same time that you're doing your design, we're building out that parts list for you, just like my list, and making sure you have an accurate complete part number. For instance, here, if I select zoning, dimming, and color capabilities for this fixture, I am not allowed to select a lamp other than our ZDC option there. So it disables actually those items that are not compatible with the previous selection, helping you build a more accurate part number and making sure also that you're only selecting compatible finishes and all options until you add it to your design. So once you click Add to Design, you can just click anywhere on the image that you want to add that fixture, right? So I've got the PS downlight here. Anywhere along that structure that I want to add that fixture, I can just point and click where I want it. If I make a mistake and put it somewhere else, it's easy just to drag and drop it back to where I want it. Each fixture has its own unique set of options. So some of those options here, you can change the icon color, and I'll show you in a minute how that can be used to stay better organized. You can also select a group. So if you're dealing with premium Luxor systems and you want to be able to set up your groups right away, right? Because Luxor allows you to zone and group fixtures together, you can group your fixtures by adding a number in place of the fixture icon. You can even use this feature just to, identify wire runs or similar types of fixtures, or use those group numbers if you wanted to add a legend or some other way to stay organized with the fixtures and the design that you've put together. And we also have that ability to favorite those items. So you see that star right there becomes filled in if it's favorited, really helping you to save time for your next project. So each icon is really distinctive, right? So we've got up lights, down lights, path lights, lamps, wall lights, in grades or well lights, underwater lights, and power and control. So you really don't even need to see the product name or understand the product to kind of get an understanding of the landscape lighting design. We also have those unique colors to help you stay organized. So let's look at how those colors can be used in group numbers as well. Let's take a look at this landscape. So I've got a lot of fixtures here, but I can see those icons about what they do, but it might be hard for me to kind of explain to my client how it's all going to be organized, right? Maybe I want to say everything in the flower bed is going to be on from 9 o'clock until 12 o'clock, and then everything on that front tree is going to be on from 9 to 11. So, or maybe I want to say, all right, we're going to my crew, right? Maybe I'm using this tool to communicate the design to my crew. Maybe I'm going to say everything in that flower bed is going to be on one wire run, and everything on that tree or on the facade is another wire run, right? So I might have to just explain those things if I didn't have a tool like selecting color, where I can say all the path lights are blue, all of my up lights are orange, down lights are purple. So color helps you stay organized really any which way you want. It's really flexible for your business and your design. And then groups allow you to either set up Luxor groups ahead of time or just communicate wire runs or organization of fixtures. So you can get an idea of how those can be used in combination with or without groups. So my design is going to help you close sales faster. It's also going to simplify the ordering process, but let's start with closing those sales. So as I mentioned, as you're doing that client consultation, create your project ahead of time and preload it with information about your client. When you're walking the job site, take photos and add new areas. You can also just save photos to your phone or to whatever camera you're using in anticipation of adding it to my design. So start thinking about it before you get there. How would I lay out this presentation tool? Well, snap a picture of the front yard, take a picture from the street view. And then once you get back to either your truck or get back to the office, you can start designing. You just upload those photos. If you've already got them loaded in, it's going to save you a ton of time. Once the design is complete, very easy to export that PDF. You can also share it with your customer. It's the same way that you share my list, or you can export that PDF, send it to them in an email. It's a really professional looking presentation. It's just a really great package to be able to send to your client. And at the same time, you're simplifying ordering, right? You're simplifying ordering by building out that parts list in the background of this whole process. Instead of designing, then getting approval, then creating a parts list, and then validating and making sure all those part numbers are complete and accurate, which sometimes we don't do. All those steps can be combined into one efficient process, and that is my design. Here's that parts list. You can see here between these two options here, you can see either a list of all of your areas, or you can see a list of all your products broken down by area, and see a price, a list price for each area. So if you're one of those contractors that loves to do phased installations to deliver a great lighting install without compromising the integrity of your design while adhering to your client's budget, this is a great way to say, all right, well, let's do the front yard. Instead of that full $20,000 proposal here, we can get this done for $10,000. So all that information is built right into one place, just like my list, as you're designing, it's building out your parts list all at the same time, really. Again, no login required to view. You can send it to your distributor for faster ordering and send it to your crew for more accurate and efficient installs. That PDF has options to be able to add price or hide price, right? So if you wanted to share price and parts numbers with your crew, you can do that. There's a quick option to select the PDF export for installation and an option to select the PDF export for your customer that hides price and part numbers. Or you can kind of mix and match what you show in the PDF. So with my design, as mentioned, you're simplifying the design process. It's helping you design like a pro. It's saving you time, and it's easy to use. And it's really easy to get started. So tablets and above are going to give you the best experience. It is cloud-based, as I mentioned, so it's a living document as the landscape is living and breathing and growing over time. So may your project change a little bit. So it does work with any internet-connected device. The phone works great to take photos and add areas, but on those small screens, we don't really recommend it for adding in your fixtures. It's going to be more easy. It's going to be easier on a tablet device where you have a larger screen, or on a laptop or computer where you can click and fine-tune the location of those fixtures. So Jordan's going to walk you through this. He's going to show you an example of my design, but I want to let you know that all of those tools are available for free. If you pull out your phone right now and scan this QR code, it'll take you to a place to get signed in or to create a new account. It's very easy. Just make sure that you select that you're professional if you want to be able to see those list prices. Take the time to get set up and comfortable with this tool, and I guarantee you it'll help improve the ordering process, the landscape lighting design process, and your sales process. So without further ado, Jordan.
Hey, Scott, before we continue on, we have a question here from an attendee. Can you add allied items like wire, conduit, fittings, and so forth?
That's a really good question. So we are always working on improvements to this tool. I'll start with that. At this point, you cannot add it into the tool, but you can add it to the Excel version. So I mentioned that the Excel version is infinitely customizable. The Excel version exists both for my list and my design. And I will give you a sneak peek that in the future, we will have custom products that you can add into this tool, and always accessible really under your favorites, recently used, or a new custom menu item. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm gonna walk you guys through here in our last 10-15 minutes just how my design works, where to find it, how to log in, all of those types of questions. Then I'm gonna walk you through doing an actual design and give you guys some additional ideas. Now, while I go through this, if you guys have questions, please feel free to jump in. Scott will be monitoring the questions tab for me, and so feel free to interrupt. I'm gonna make sure I make this as interactive as we can here. So the first thing is where do we go to log into the My Design software? And if you go to the FXL website, the login is right up here where it says My Design. Okay, you can see right now we're kind of featuring it right on the home page of our website. So I'm going to jump in. Once you get into the software, it's going to look like this. And what I think everybody should start with is by updating your company information. And that is done by clicking this settings tab right here. And this allows you to come in here and say, what's my company name? What's my company's website? You know, what's a good phone number? What's a My Design contact information? And then what's a contact email? You can also upload your company logo right here. So because I'm a Hunter Industries and FX Luminaire employee, I have all of that information in mind for Hunter Industries. And then once you get into this screen, you just click here by Add New Project, and you can start by calling it whatever you want. Okay, you can put in a client name. You can put in their email, their phone number, and their location if you'd like to. If you click this browse button right here, it's going to bring up a screen. And from here, you can select what photo you would like to be featured to represent the job. So I have some pre-saved photos. I can load it up here. Here's my image of the job. I hit save. So now I've created kind of the shell of the project, or the shell of my design. From there, I can start adding areas. And areas can be whatever works for your business. So in some cases, areas might be a very, very small area. Maybe it's just a single tree or a single garden bed, or they can be very large, like the entire front of a house. So if I go ahead and add in this front of the house here, and I can call it front yard, okay, and hit save. We'll give it just a second to load here. So now I have the front yard, and from here I can start adding products. So I can come in here and say, I'm going to use our NP uplight. It's going to take a second, and here is my spec builder. So we're going to do a ZD system, and we're going to use a flat black color, and I can call these tree and house, okay? And then I can just start clicking on my image to add where I would like these uplights to go. So once I'm satisfied with the number of uplights I have, I just click close, and I can go back to adding another product. Let's use some PB wash lights. Put these up here, light that second story of the house. Okay, then once we feel pretty good about those, the other really neat thing here is that we can actually go accessories and go we can order a gutter mount and hit add to area, and we can put some accessories up here that go with this so that we know we need this mount to support those PBs in that gutter shining up on that second story. So we can go through and we can start to add in all these different fixtures, different types of products. Add some path lighting along this path here. Try and keep it out of the grass. And then once we've done that, you know, like Scott alluded to, you know, when you look at this picture, you just see a bunch of orange dots. It's really hard to kind of make out what's going on here. So if I click on a fixture and I hold my shift key on my keyboard, I can go through, select all the fixtures, hit color, and change their color. And that just allows me to start to be able to see these products a little bit better. Scott said you can do this for, you know, wire runs. Rather than doing it by fixture, you can say, hey, I want all these lights to go on this wire run. So you can color code your wire runs. That way your employees can see what color of, you know, which lights go on which wire run. Also, you know, if I've forgotten a light, maybe, you know, oh, I wanted one right over here, I can click this and I can just hit clone, and I can go back to reselecting that light. I don't have to go back in and research for that light. So that's a neat fixture there as well. I'm going to close this, and rather than adding products, I'm going to go back. I want to show you guys from here kind of what you start to see. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing our first area. We have 23 products. Here it's going to list out our products. It's going to list out our accessories. But this is kind of what, you know, Scott and I have been alluding to, is that while we do a design, we can be building this. And this is where that ordering efficiency comes into play. This is ready with all the part numbers that I've just selected to send over to the distributor. The other really cool thing that it does for us here is this power consumption tab. And you can see I have a red triangle. If I scroll over that red triangle, it says no transformer has been added to this list. So what that's telling me is that oh man, I don't have a transformer in the front yard. I don't have anything to power this system. So I need to come back into this area and I need to add a transformer. And we know that we're working with a Luxor transformer. So we're going to grab a Luxor transformer. I'm going to stick it right over here. There's going to be an outlet over there. Let's make it a different color. Okay. And you know what? I just remembered I want one more pathway on this side of the tree. So you get a nice view in from the house. Okay. So let's go back. Oh, there it goes. So now you can see that that red dot went away. Now, in the case that I have too many lights for my transformer, that red triangle will reappear. And if you scroll over the top of it, it will say power consumption exceeds transformer capacity. So that will allow us, this will actually prompt us if we haven't added a transformer, if we hadn't added enough transformer. The other thing that we can do is put in a proposal cost. So we can come in here and say the install on this lighting job is $15,000, okay? And close. And then when we go to share this or we go to export it, I'm gonna export it to a PDF so you guys can see what that looks like and how that works. We have two different options. We can either export it as the installer, which will show us list price, it will show us part numbers, right? Or we can export it for a customer. So I'm gonna start by exporting it for a customer. And this process may take a few seconds. Once again, guys, feel free if you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat box so that we can get them answered for you while we're here. So this is what it looks like. You can see our proposal cost is $15,000. You can see that it's for the front yard. It has a nice picture of the customer's home. It has all of your contact information down below. And if I scroll down, it starts to show me, okay, here's where all my products are. But I want to make sure to point out that it removed the entire part number. The name of the fixture is still there, but there isn't something for your customer to go take to the internet and try and price match you with something like Amazon or one of the online retailers for this lighting. So that's a really great feature in kind of protecting you guys. If I go to the installer one and download it, you'll see it looks just a little bit different. You can see here when we get down into it, it has all of your part numbers and your list price. So I can also export this as an Excel if it's easier to turn that into the distribution warehouse that you guys work with. And it makes it a nice, easy to read, easy to follow, easy to get ordered Excel. Let's give it a second here to load. And I can also show you, while that loads, I want to show you guys one other thing here. You know, oh, you can see here is my list of all of my products with all of the quantities, the product lines, what is their list price, adjusted price. I can come in here, if I click enable editing, and I know that my distributor gives me, say, 10% off list price, I can come in here and change this to 0.90. It will give me my adjusted price here. It also provides you a link to the web page and the spec sheet, all from this Excel spreadsheet. So that's a great feature. It helps be more efficient with our ordering process. And then the other thing that I want to show you guys is that it doesn't necessarily have to be an image that you use. This is a rendering that was sent to me about a month ago from a pool contractor that installs lighting with his pools in his landscapes. As a, hey, this is what I'm doing. I converted these into JPEG and I uploaded them into the My Design software, and I can actually mark up the rendering. So in this case, I'm helping this individual to do this design, but you can see, you know, we have some path lights here, we have some down lights for the barbecue and for this eating area. We have some ledge lights underneath the fire pit, some path light over here by the hot tub, but it doesn't have to be a picture of the site. We can utilize different types of pictures. You could load a set of plans in here if that, you know, if that was helpful, or even a hand sketch drawing. If you scanned it, you can load it in here and put products on that as well. So you know, it becomes a really valuable tool, and it helps improve that efficiency process. It helps that when you're designing, you're also building, you know, your parts list out. One of the biggest challenges that I think I see contractors face in the field is that they'll turn in some sort of parts list to a distributor, and a distributor will go to order it, and then they'll call us as manufacturer sales managers and say, hey, I can't find this part number. And then it's like, well, that's not the right part number. This is the right part number, but you need to go back and make sure to confirm this part of the part number. And so then they have to track back down, and you know, then your distributor is calling you to find out, okay, well, what's the correct part number? And that whole process burns days of time. And any opportunity we have to remove that weight or to become a little bit more efficient as a business is an opportunity for you guys to increase your profitability and to remove that 20 to 30% in inefficiency that comes right off the top end of your job. So thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody jumping on here and spending this hour with us and taking a look at My Design and some of our and SiteRec, and grateful for Scott's presentation there. Does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Jordan, we do have one question here. Does the program also generate a lighted night view of the front yard? So do you want to take that one, or you want me to?
I think the answer, and Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the answer is not yet. I think as we develop this software, this is brand new. We just launched it in the last couple of weeks. We're definitely not done. We want it to do a lot more things than it does currently. And that's certainly one thing that we'd like it to do at some point.
Yeah, thank you for that question.
Well, if there's no other questions, we'd like to once again thank you from Hunter for joining us and for looking at ways to improve your purchasing and looking for ways to improve your efficiencies and to remove some of that weight for your business. Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you to the IA for giving us an opportunity, and we'll turn it back over to you, Sandra.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending, and don't forget to check our website for upcoming webinars during the year. A big thank you to Jordan and Scott for sharing their knowledge with us today, and to Hunter for sponsoring the webinar. If you have any questions that you didn't have a chance to type up, please email education@irrigation.org, and we will make sure to pass it on to the appropriate person. Have a great day, and thank you again.